This sector is now under my control. Stand down and prepare for Vega occupation.
Hello everyone, this is Captain Soban. Welcome aboard the Starship in Normal Prize for another episode of Homeworld Apex Galaxy Ship Showcase Series. Okay, so today we are taking a look at the last available faction in the mod, the Bentusi. Now, heads up, this mod is work in progress. It's actually further work in progress than the Kushan faction that we did the last episode. So heads up, there's going to be bugs, there's going to be glitches. Some of the ships actually just have placeholders because they're not designed yet. So yep, take that with whatever you want to do. But anyways, first off, let's take a look at the first ship in front of us, which are the Acolytes, which I believe these are from Homeworld Cataclysm. If you guys don't know, in Homeworld Cataclysm, we had to fight the Bentusi, and they used their Acolytes against us. They're only combat fighter class ship that we currently know about, and that's what these came from. So the Acolytes are your advanced attack fighter. They're good against fighters, corvettes, and frigates.
Ready.
They are, obviously, they're Bentusi technology, so they are very powerful and very deadly. But you'll be using this, yeah, for any type of strike craft that comes against the Bentusi. And then next we have this one over here,
Reporting.
which, as you will see, looks exactly the same because it has a placeholder. These are your Super Acolytes, which are your upgraded versions of the Acolytes, where I believe they use the ion beams that they use in Homeworld Cataclysm. I think these ones just use like pulsar beams. So these ones are a lot more powerful. I think their speed is the same. No, they're a lot slower, and they have a lot more health. So these are more heavily armored and more heavily armed and heavily armored, I think was what I was looking for, versions of the normal Acolyte. There are abilities down here. I don't know what they do because we don't have a description for them. I believe they're just placeholders. So yeah, but that's all the fighters that this team has. It's just the Acolytes and Super Acolytes. And I guess one more thing I will say before we really continue: when you first start this game, you have your Bentusi trading station and you have Bentus. One thing that I'm going to say about these is you can't build fighters from Bentus, only frigates and above, but you can only build fighters from your trade station. So I think that's how they differentiate the difference between your Mothership and your carrier. I just wanted to say that before we really got into it, because the next thing we're going to look at are our frigates. And as you can see, all of our frigates are the same because there's only one frigate. I believe it would be this guy. The other ones are placeholders.
Ready.
But we'll take a look at them anyways. So let me grab Bentus so that we can take a look at it. The first one we have is our Pulsar frigate, which is your basic Bentusi weapon frigate that is equipped with Pulsar technology, making it extremely effective against corvettes. It doesn't quite do enough damage to fight frigates and above, but this is good against your corvette class ships. And then next we have the phased ion frigate, which has the phase ion beam that the Bentusi uses in Homeworld Cataclysm, making it extremely effective against frigate class ships. And that's about it. I believe the beam comes out in front, kind of just like how Bentusi has all of its beams in the front too. So this guy is very effective against other frigate class ships. Doesn't have the firepower to take down capital ships though. So he's only good against frigate versus frigate combat situations. And then the third frigate we have is our control frigate, which I kind of like how they did this for this faction. So unlike the salvage corvettes and the infiltrator frigates that literally capture the ship and board it and take it over, instead this one can temporarily take control of an enemy vessel by sending like some sort of, I don't know, supplemental message to the vessel, taking it over temporarily, and then you can take that time to grab that ship, take it back, retire it, and get a bunch of resources from it and use it to build a fleet. It's a very interesting concept when it comes to capturing things, and it's something that I never really think about because It reminds me of Yuri from Command and Conquer, who will mind control people and then take them to a grinder to like take them apart or deconstruct the vehicles and use that money to build his military. That concept reminds me of this. So very, very interesting and very unique compared to the other ways you capture things. And it's also temporarily. I believe you can take it for like 60 seconds, so you have to be quick about it. And you require one of them to take over a frigate, two of them to take over a capital ship like a carrier or destroyer, and then three of them to take over a super capital ship like a battle cruiser. Very interesting. Anyways, that's all the frigates that we can build on the Bentusi side. Next, we will take a look at our super capital ships, which the first one we have is our destroyer, which I actually like the way the destroyer looks. I like the fact that they use the the Bentus ring thing, and the fact that it's vertical instead of horizontal. It makes it look a lot more intimidating to me. And the fact that it has like the city thing in the back too, just like Bentus and the Bentusi trading station. Anyways, your heavy destroyer is a powerful capital ship. It's just like the other destroyers, designed to take on other destroyer classes and frigate ships as well. And I believe it has the phase cannon in front, like Bentusi. Speaking of, the trading station. Speaking of the trading station,
Confirmed.
as I said before, the trading station is responsible for providing fighter support for the fleet, so it can build the acolytes and the super acolytes, but it can't build any frigates or capital ships. It can build a cargo barge, which we'll get to later on in the future. But one thing you can do is when the ship starts out, it has no weapons. So as you upgrade Bentus, which we'll get to more here when we get to the Bentus part, you're able to upgrade the trading station. You can upgrade it with a repair beam, which will make it to where you can repair stuff in front of it. So it can act like a support ship or like a repair ship that can repair like the capital ships when they get in combat and to get them back up to health. And then when you get further on and you upgrade Bentus more, you can replace those trade beams with the powerful triple phase cannon that the Bentus is known for having in the Homeworld 1 and Homeworld Cataclysm campaigns. So, pretty freaking cool. But I love this trade station. This is probably one of my favorite ships in Homeworld. Like when it comes to like high-tech alien technology, the Bentus is, or not Bentus, but the Bentusi trading station has always awed me. Especially when I found out it has that powerful cannon in front, and I was just like, oh god, this ship is awesome. Okay, and then next we have our battle cruiser.
Ready.
Which I will show you here, our battleship, the super heavy capital ship equipped with powerful weaponry and heavy armor. And I don't exactly know where the weapons are, because I haven't actually tested it, but I believe it has a phase cannon in front, and I would assume it would have some defenses on the sides, or maybe phase cannons on the side for like barrage attacks. But it looks like a downgraded version of Bentus, which is pretty cool. And now we will take a look at Bentus. So Bentus is your mothership for this faction. And like I said, you can't build fighters and corvettes from Bentus. You can build your frigates, build your capital ships. There are platforms you can build, which I'll get to here in a moment. I didn't actually build them because, one, they all look the same. They all have the frigate placeholder. And two, one of them is kind of glitched, and I actually had to reset everything up because it glitched my mothership. And then we can build the trade relay station. We usually only build one. This is used for making your money. We'll get to that here in a moment. We can build a probe, which I actually did not build. I totally forgot about it. So let's take a look at the... Ooh.
Flagship.
That's an interesting probe. Oh, I don't want the flagship. Ah, you can only hyperspace it. Okay.
Hyperspace coordinates locked in.
I think you can only hyperspace it once. A lot of the probes and stuff, their thing is, or for the Bentusi faction, a lot of their thing is they're all about hyperspacing. So every ship, frigate and above, can hyperspace.
Exiting hyperspace.
They don't require a hyperspace module or in a radius of a hyperspace module, and it's also extremely cheap. Like if I would hyperspace our mothership, it costs 870 RUs and like 1,000 to get to the other side of the map. Extremely cheap compared to what the Higaran mothership would be. So can I continue hyperspacing this? Oh, I can. I just can't move it. We can only hyperspace it. Cool. That's our little reconnaissance probe for long-range transmissions. It's got a huge radius too. Indeed. Anyways, back to Bentus. So Bentus, you can upgrade Bentus when you have enough resources, and by upgrading it, it'll unlock new ships you can build and new research you can do. So the first upgrade, Sleepless City 1, allows Bentus to construct ships twice as quickly, and it allows you to build a pulsar frigate and trading station. Then when you upgrade to Bentus level 2, this increases your build speed by 4,000, by 4 times or 400%. Unlocks the ability to hyperspace around, and this also unlocks the field generators, the cloaking, defense, jamming generators, the phase ion cannon frigate, and the heavy destroyer. And then level 3 unlocks your super acolytes, control frigate, your battleship, and the other field generators, and allows you to build 6 times the normal speed. So pretty cool, and these all stack too. So at first I thought it was replacing it, and then you would only have that technology, but no, they stack. So and I believe the interesting thing about this is it is actually a production module. I think it's built into the inside. Cool. It's not actually exterior like I thought it was. Because I was thinking while I was building this, was like, if that's exterior, that means someone can destroy it.
Flagship.
Meaning that once you lose this, then you have to start all the way from Tech 1 and build it back up. I actually kind of hope they take that direction, because that's the only way you can get rid of the Bentusi technology, is by destroying this or by destroying Bentus. Because Bentus has no defenses of his own. But if there's a way to get rid of its technology, kind of like the progenitors, where they're very vulnerable to their little pyramid things, if Bentus had some sort of vulnerability like that, it probably would help them out. But again, it's still high. This is still really deep in development, so it's not going to be done anytime soon. So another thing we're going to look at is the harvesting system, because the harvesting system for this faction is completely different. We don't actually harvest from asteroids. Instead, we have this system over here. We have this guy right here, who is our trading barge, and these little guys over here will dock in, and then they'll hyperspace away to somewhere off the map, trade with some sort of off faction, and then they'll come back in and dock their resources back here. That's how this team makes money. We don't actually harvest, we just hyperspace to a faction on the outside of the map and just trade with them, which matches the Bentusi trading theme, so I kind of like that. There they all go, and this guy just arrived, so he's gonna come up and dock. Cool. But I did also realize that, or I just now realized that this is actually the this is the, oh crap, what's it called? I forgot what the heck is it called. The negotiation module, the ambassador, that's what it is. This is the ambassador in Homeworld 1 on mission 11 that Bentusi tries to send to us, but the Titan destroys while they're trying to wipe out the Bentusi. That's interesting. I really like the fact that actually makes a lot of sense, the fact that these are the harvesters, because they're ambassadors and they're going to all factions to trade resources with them and bring them back. That makes a lot of sense. That's awesome. Okay. Enough reminiscing about that stuff. But that is all the ships that you can build on the Bentusi side. There's not a whole lot available. Again, this faction is still highly in development. So eventually, like, these will be replaced with their own home units. We'll eventually probably have a more beefed up super acolyte compared to the normal acolyte, because they're both the same ship at the moment, just with different weapons. And really curious to see how this battle cruiser works. Now, when it comes to difficulty, it's really difficult to give a difficulty rating because of the fact it's so highly in development, and I haven't actually really tested these guys. But I would definitely say hard. They have a very unique playstyle, a very unique harvesting system. So someone who is, new to Homeworld probably wouldn't be able to understand this much. I spent about 30 minutes just trying to understand how they work, just so I can make this video. So I would. Their AI also doesn't work, so you won't be able to verse these in skirmish. So if you're just curious and you want to mess around with them for a while, that's probably the best you can do. But I wouldn't actually really worry too much about actually playing them. It's a cool faction. I really like the concept, the fact that they all focus on hyperspacing. So like if I select him and I select this guy. Oh.
Reporting.
I was able to hyperspace you guys before. Why can't I hyperspace you now? Is it because you're far away from Bentusi?
Reporting.
Never mind. So everything I just said just all was a complete lie. Because I guess before I tried recording this, I had all of these guys next to Bentusi, and I was like, oh, I can hyperspace all these anywhere. But before we end this, I'll show you guys a little bit about the platforms, because they are pretty cool. So for instance, your first platform is your cloaking platform. This cloaks all nearby ships from enemy sensors. It can only be deployed through hyperspace once. So it hyperspaces in when it's built, and then you can hyperspace it somewhere, and then that's all you can do. You can't do it anymore. And then we have the field generator, which protects nearby ships from enemy attacks. Same thing, can only be deployed through hyperspace once. And then we have the jamming ship. Prevents enemy ships from jumping, cloaking, activating energy fields, and gravity wells. So this is like the old gravity well module. And it can only be deployed through hyperspace once. And then this is the one that kind of broke my game earlier. This is the field generator. It could take nearby friendly ships with it when jumping through hyperspace. What I did was I built this ship, and then it came out of the Bentusi, and then I told it to go somewhere. And then when I did that, it hyperspaced all of these ships around it. Or all of these ships went in the hyperspace, and then when he came out and nobody else came out, they were stuck in hyperspace because I never gave them the order to move. So I had to reload the game and then get back to where I am here. So if you use this module, be very, very careful with it. I believe you can move it. I don't think you can hyperspace it, but I believe you can move it around the map too. I would recommend moving it away from the Bentusi or Bentusi before you actually hyperspace it somewhere. Use it more like the hyperspace gate from Vader. But yeah, that one probably needs a little bit more work. And then the other one is the gravity generator, which captures enemy strike craft in an artificially created gravity field and pairs with them together. I don't know exactly what it means, and perish with them together. Does that mean... Does this work like the old... gravity generator from Homeworld 1, where once you activate it, you can't turn it off, and once it runs out of energy, it explodes? Which I love that concept. That's a possibility. I'm not too sure, though. But anyways, the only reason I'm not building these is because they all look like the frigates. They all have the frigate placeholder. So every single one of them looks like this. So it's hard to differentiate them. But yeah. That's every ship you can build on the Bentusi side. I hope you guys enjoyed this series. This is the last one in the FX Galaxy Shipbuilding Showcase series. Next, what I want to do, because I've gotten some requests from you guys asking me to show off the combat of the ships, and I've been trying to think of a good way to do that. And what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to have the I'm going to make like a combat scenario for every ship on the faction. So let's say we'll have a good combat scenario, which means that I have a group of those ships fighting the ship that they're good against, a neutral combat scenario, and then a bad combat scenario where you have a group of those ships fighting something that they're not good against. And then the entire video is going to be every single ship in all three of those combat scenarios. It's going to be a while before I make that video because it's going to take a long time to record and a lot of editing, and I don't quite have that much time to do all that. So I'm going to put that in the works, but don't guarantee it to be out anytime soon. Also, we're gonna do more Homeworld Wars too, and what I'm probably gonna do is have a Homeworld Wars video, and then next video will be the combat video, and then a Homeworld Wars video, and we'll just cycle back and forth between those two for the secondary series. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. Please leave a like if you did. If you like what I do, consider subscribing, and I will check you guys out in the next video. There we go. Until next time, guys. This is Captain Soban signing out.
This is the Garden of Kadesh. For 13 generations we have protected it from the unclean. If you have come to join me, welcome you, and will spare you your ship until all have disembarked. If you have come to consume the garden, you will be removed at once. What are your intentions?